But quickly, interesting point by Greg Jennings on the Le'Veon Bell going to Kansas City. I think that makes sense. I mean, see, obviously Le'Veon has some issues. He has some issues with the Steelers. I can't blame him for, the issues with the Jets. But my thing is this, Rob. I mean, if he has not been humbled yet, you know what I mean? Like, if he goes into Kansas City and got an attitude, like, let's say he's not getting as many touches as Edwards-Helaire, and he's upset about, like, I mean, obviously they can just cut him like that. They only paid him, what, $340,000 or something like that?
Yeah, because the Jets are paying the freight.
Right. So that he can get rid of him. But I can't imagine he would go in there and be anything but a good soldier.
No, you would assume so because it's a new lease on life.
Right.
And you don't want to botch that up. And even if you don't stay there, Chris, for the next place, they want to make sure your head is right.
Absolutely.
And the other part is people are going to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know why? Because Adam Gase has such a terrible track record. Like with guys not performing for him for whatever reason, Chris, and then going on and then playing. So they'll say, this guy was under Gase. They didn't utilize him the right way. He didn't want the guy. You know what I mean? They weren't calling the right plays for him. And you could justify it. I'm telling you. And that's why you don't want to go anywhere and cause anything. But it was interesting, too, that Greg thought Buffalo might have been a better choice for him as well.
Yeah,
with what they're doing.
Yeah,
not either one is good. Don't get me wrong.
But that's not it would have been more of an opportunity to shine. But he'll be. I mean, I think both probably make the playoffs. Obviously, Kansas City does.
Well,
but
Buffalo,
he'll be on the bigger stage, being able to. You know what I mean? He'll get his opportunity to really shine bright. And I think he'll play well, Rob. I mean, I'm not saying I don't expect him to be what he used to be, but I don't think he has to be there in Kansas City. Because, again, when he gets the ball, there's going to be running lanes, there's going to be holes, and when he catches it, out of the backfield, there's going to be open space because they got so many other weapons that people have to worry about. So I expect him to play well. He's probably excited as all get out, right? So hopefully it works out for him, and it just helps my Chiefs, who I picked to win the Super Bowl. So I'm happy about it. All right, Rob, let's move to the NBA. The team you and I both picked to win the championship.
Not
and
me
we
and
weren't
you.
alone. We weren't alone.
A million people in our business. I mean, when people are throwing stones, Chris, they ran out of stones. How's that?
Right. No, you absolutely right.
Let's be honest.
Ex-players, coaches. I mean,
it wasn't just the media. It was everybody. My God. Don't make it like, Rob and Chris picked the Clippers. No, Jalen Rose. I could go on and on and on.
Gundy and Mark Jackson, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, guys, you know who didn't pick the Clippers?
You're a fan.
Yeah,
you didn't even pick.
Right, you're a fanboy. You're a fanboy.
Stop it.
That we know more basketball here behind the glass.
Don't
than
make
you guys.
us put you on the hot seat again.
Wait a minute.
Don't make us
Rob
punish
G.
you
What's
again
up?
like that.
Rob G, you also picked them to make the playoffs last year, didn't you?
You know what? Why are you
He
bringing
picked
up
them
old
to
stuff,
win
Rob?
it.
Why are you bringing up old
He picked them
stuff?
to win it last year.
That's
Every
right.
year he's picking them to win
I
it.
didn't pick him to win it last year.
And then he had the nerve. He was down there spray painting LeBron's mural last year. Now all of a sudden he's ready to throw confetti on
I
him.
boycotted Blaze Pizza for like a week.
Yeah, that's about all.
That was a good investment by LeBron. I'll tell you that. Blaze Pizza ain't no joke. That stuff is good.
They don't put enough cheese on it for me.
Really?
I'm sorry. Yep. Rob
Just
G,
tell them throw extra. They can do whatever you want.
They don't put
that?
enough. I had it at the Staples Center. They got a Blaze inside there, Chris. Did you ever have it? Rob G, they got enough cheese on Blaze?
I've been to the one he was supposed to go to.
It's okay in a pinch, but, if I had a
Really?
choice, I wouldn't go.
Y'all
no.
dissing Blaze.
Seriously.
You can tell them to make it however you want. But you tell them to put extra cheese on it.
They're going to charge you extra.
That's the
it's like
whole
going
thing.
to Chipotle and asking for guac. They don't give it for free, Chris.
They say
Man, stop
guac.
being a cheapskate.
Guac's
Tell
my
them throw
butt.
some ranch
Right.
dressing on there.
Nah.
Well, the ranch that he carries in his back pocket.
right.
By the way, Rob, I went to El Pollo
Beyonce
Loco
with the
during the
hot
commercial.
sauce.
They said,
Hold
hey,
on, what?
where's that tall black guy that used to come with you?
They probably did. Did they say
They
that?
probably said, we haven't seen him in 2
No,
years.
they said, where's your friend? That's what they said. They said, where's your
I
don't
know they miss me Because I was in there at least 3 days, 3 of the 5 days.
Well, they used to run out of wings because you ate them all over there.
Oh, man. They would hook a brother up. Yes, yes. All right. But anyway, the news, Rob, obviously they signed Tyronn Lue to a 5-year deal to be the head coach. And Chauncey Billups coming along as the lead assistant. Now, some people, if they don't really know, they're not in the know on this, they might think, wow, I mean, Chauncey, everybody's making a big deal out of him being the lead assistant. And, is that something Ty Lue has to worry about? They're best friends.
Are they really? I didn't know they were best friends.
They're great friends. They've been that way since high school. Just meeting each other, as they both were great high school players. So, there's no worries about that. Chauncey's going to be nothing but an asset to Ty Lue. I think this is good for Chauncey. I think he could have went somewhere and been a head coach by himself? Yes, right away. Steve Nash is doing it. Steve Kerr did it. Mark Jackson did it. Doc Rivers. So I think he could have done it. But it can't hurt, Rob, to, you got a championship caliber team. You got a championship level head coach. It can't hurt him. Maybe he's only there a year before he gets another, his own job. But I think it's great for Chauncey. And I like it for the Clippers. Now, I'm not ready to make a prediction. I mean, right now, like I say, the Lakers have to be the favorites. But the Clippers are going to be interesting. I was very disappointed, Rob. I thought they had everything they needed.
They did. They choked.
And they just,
it's just as simple as that. They choked. Chris, you know this. You've been covering basketball for a long time. You talk to people. When you looked at the pieces that they had, the people that they needed, where that team was a year ago before they added the guys they added, it looked like a nice mix. And when we saw early on in the playoffs, when they were all playing on, all cylinders, remember? Yep. We looked and went, my God. Right. This is what we were talking about.
3-1.
Right. It
I
wasn't
don't
like
care.
It wasn't like they struggled. Right. It wasn't like they struggled to get there. They were up 3-1. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. They choked.
Yes. Yeah. What do you expect next year?
I expect that they will have another year to get it together, and they'll also have to pick up their they have the pride. You know what I mean? That they have to kind of what's the right word? I'm not saying. But you know what I mean? Like their pride got hurt.
Right.
And they got to come back.
That's a good thing. Because Rob, I blame it on this. Now, obviously, look, I think Doc will do fine in Philly, but I thought Doc didn't do a good job there. I mean, there's no other way to cut it, But beyond that, I thought their attitude was their main problem. I thought all year, Rob, and I overlooked it, they'll get it together, whatever. They had this arrogance about them. Everybody's sitting out. Kawhi obviously low managing. Paul George plays half the season. Beverly's out. Shamit's out. And I know some of them were legit. Most of them were legitimate injuries. But they just seem to have this attitude of we can drop whoever we want in and we'll be fine. Like Kawhi is going to play 2 out of every 3 games. But when he comes back, we're fine. There's no issues. And it was good for them. They had what did they have to be arrogant about? That's a Clippers.
No, they
never even been to the conference finals.
Right. They didn't have a right to be arrogant in that sense. Not at all.
Right. Even with Kawhi winning it in Toronto, he hasn't done enough, Rob, where he can get on his high horse. You know what I'm saying? And so I would hope that Kawhi comes back with, like, the attitude of I'm playing. Like, I'm not load managing and missing 20 of the games. I'm playing between 71 and, 76 games. I mean, I think that's what it should be like. I get sitting out a few of the games, but he should be playing about 74 games. And so, and I think, I got a few question marks about Paul George, though, Rob. Somebody told me in the league that when George was traded to the Clippers from OKC, this is an executive. talking to another executive. He said someone in Indiana, an executive in Indiana, told him he's going to disappoint him. He's going to disappoint the Clippers. And I'm not saying he can't be great this year and in the playoffs, but he did disappoint, Rob. I don't think your second guy can't be prone to go for 14 points.
But when did he say this?
Night.
Did he say this after the fact?
No, the guy told me after, they blew it. But the executive was told this right when they made the trade.
Okay.
Because they felt like he had disappointed Indiana.
That's fine. I'm just saying, yeah. It's easy to say that after the fact. Right. You know what I mean. Okay. Yeah.
So we'll see. But